It's 500 gold. Why? Because no one else carries this.
If it's a really weird item like that, actually, I would think bug spray would be incredibly expensive, because wouldn't that have to be like alchemy? We've been having fun so far, but
Sure.
the doubt in your voice is terrific. I, however, wanted to introduce you to something that I was planning on talking about like a couple weeks ago, but we kept having other things that we wanted to discuss. And it was a post that I had seen, and it originally came from Reddit, and that's always a great place for this, but it was about haggling.
Yeah, it's always the best place. About haggling?
It was about haggling, and I'll read it to you. It's a little lengthy, but you kind of need it for context. So I'm running a campaign, and it's always very nice, until the players have to pay for something. A few of them...
Hold on.
Yes.
Why is their first sentence, so I'm running a campaign, and it's always very nice?
They're trying to lure you in.
Running a campaign is always nice.
You're trying to lure them in by thinking that it's better than it is, because this is going to go badly very quickly. Until the players have to pay for something, a few of them get a panic attack and immediately says, that's too expensive. Others say, can I not sleep outside, or if they had to rent a boat to get to Cragmaw Castle, they spent 1.5 hours haggling through 3 different ships, using intimidation. I just ignore them after the 8th time. And had the police involved 2 times. They ended up paying, but they always waste time. They once wanted to buy bug spray, I don't know why, and had to spend 4 minutes to argue price, 2 copper. Is there any way to solve this? Also, the whole group is like this. Also, somehow some players complain about it being boring. Okay, so let me give you the response back before you say anything. Someone says, this, but also be ready to accept that they're having fun with this. If it's a recurring theme, maybe they enjoy the haggling and being tight with their money. And the original poster says, they do not enjoy it, told me they do not like it.
Okay.
So I could not stop laughing at this one.
Is this from D&D?
Yes.
How, in D&D 5e, I assume, are your players complaining that things are too expensive? There is nothing to spend money on in D&D.
Understand though, Alex, from this post itself, they're haggling over 2 copper pieces for bug spray. like they're way too deep into the weeds here.
I don't know that this is a good GM at this point, because if your players have told you they do not like a thing that they themselves are doing, then you remedy this by going, I'd like some bug spray, and you'd go, sure, okay, fine, I'll allow that. And if they start haggling about it, have the merchant, they go with, listen, the price is now doubled, take it or leave it, and if you're not going to take it, get the fuck out of my shop.
You have a time limit of how long you can figure this out, like, in-game. You have, like, 1 minute to figure out the haggling, and otherwise, it's final price, there's no more haggling.
I think trading is fine in games.
Sure.
The problem is that doing something like this bogs down the entire game.
Yes.
If you're sitting there and you want to I think a table by table basis, some people enjoy the RP haggling and stuff, and some people don't. And if your players are people who don't like it, don't let them do it.
Right.
Don't even have it be an option.
Right.
Don't bring it up. Be like, oh, can I haggle? No.
These are the prices.
Why? Because you don't enjoy it. It's a waste of everyone's time to do it.
Yeah.
And like, there's no point. There's either you can make a roll, maybe make a single roll.
Yeah.
And I'll drop the price by a couple points. Or if you do badly, I'm gonna up the price by a few points.
Yeah, you get into a shop, they say, okay, we're gonna try to find a better price, and you say, okay, roll for this, and it's gonna be based on one of your charisma stats. I can't think of the one that would really work. Maybe persuasion. And whatever it is, you just say, okay, you're going to get this much of a discount, like you're saying. And then whatever they're buying, that's just what it is. It's just what it is.
I prefer personally for getting completely around this point is during downtime, when you're leveling, when you're at a shop, when you're outside of game, if you're in town, you can buy stuff. You have money, run it by me, just let me know what you want, and I'll either okay it or say no. It's like, occasionally, for instance, when you were playing in the campaign, we were doing, but I still lived closer.
Yeah.
There were a couple things, I think you guys had gone to the blacksmith, the armor or whatever for, and
I
were
guess so.
questioning about if they had a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this person doesn't have it because the book specifically says that they don't carry anything that costs more than this price.
Right.
So, like, no, they wouldn't have that. Things like that, I think, are fine. But, like, I don't know. If it's a small-time blacksmith, they're not going to haggle prices with you. They're going to be like, no, I'm the only blacksmith in town. You take my prices.
Right. I also think that if we're getting down to, like, bug spray for reasons, is bug spray even an item?
known, just be like, yeah, it's $300.
Yeah, it's
500 gold. Why? Because no one else carries this.
if it's a really weird item like that, actually, I would think bug spray would be incredibly expensive, because wouldn't that have to be like alchemy? Like, in this world, that would be alchemy. I would say you put it like 1 gold piece, and if they have a problem with it, I guess we can roll for it, and I'll cut the price in half. But otherwise, there's just no
if they
reason.
have a problem with it, I'm then going to make it so that if they don't buy it, they're going to have a problem with bugs.
Exactly. This is what
There's going
we
to be
do.
a swarm of mosquitoes
Oh,
has attacked you.
Perfect. This is also fun, because if you're... I mean, I know that you're running the campaign and it's always very nice, but you could make it a little naughty, too. We could, like, throw some, like, problems into their wake based on the facts that they didn't bother to buy a thing after they had such a hard time figuring out if they wanted to buy it for God knows how long.
I feel like retribution against the players for doing something like this isn't the best idea. Like, if you're upset with them and they're upset, if they're not happy with it and you're upset with them because they keep doing this, like, it is best to resolve this outside of game and talk to them, obviously.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm sure you could just want to be like, this is what you get for being difficult. You know?
I think that a mild annoyance to make the point is probably fine. If they don't buy the bug spray and then you have them hassled by some mosquitoes, the mosquitoes don't have to be deadly, but they can be an annoyance down the road and say, boy, could have had bug spray.
I feel like you should have an NPC haggle with them to show them what it's like at that
would be
point.
Fun. That would be fun.
Where you go, cool, this guy, he wants to trade. We're not trading. No, he really insists he wants to trade. Make a willpower saving throw.
A willpower saving throw.
Willpower saving throw. Oh, you failed? Cool. He wants to trade, and you feel compelled to trade with him.
What you get the Merchant of Menace. And the Merchant of Menace just comes up to you and like, what you buying? And he opens up your cup. And he has like one item that seems really enticing. It's like a really shiny thing. And he's willing to trade it with you for something. So now you got to figure out what you can trade for the shiny thing. And that lures you in if you don't make the willpower saving throw. Yeah. Now,
I know, it's one of those things where, like, I think you could do this, reverse it, and try to have someone that's like really wants to trade with the players and haggle with the players until they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I see why you don't like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, don't actually do this. This is just in theory. That would be fantastic.
This is in
because
theory.
your players would go, oh, okay, I get it. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Especially since players don't tend to like it very much if you compel their characters to do things.
Right. I mean, you can.
But that is what
scenarios.
Willpower and saving throws are for.
Yes.
So, like, you made the saving throw. As long as you give them a dice roll about it, they can still like not like it. We'll play that up. But like,
right.
You know,
I think it's just more of a matter of whether you can utilize it to advance something. Like, for instance, if they do end up buying this thing, it might actually end up being like a subquest or a side story about, like, people are after this. That's why he wanted to rush up to trade it with you. He wanted to get rid of this jewel because he's got the coppers on him. He's got the guard.
Yeah, but he didn't want to just dump it, so he made you buy it.
Yeah, he made you buy it. So now you are the official owner of basically fenced property. Which you just, and he made a good deal with you. You really did a good job at haggling, and now you have to deal with the fallout from it.
This guy comes up to you and he goes, "Hey, I really like your shoes. Can I have them?" You go, "What? No, these are my shoes. What the? Get out of here." He goes, "I will give you this fist-sized ruby for your shoes." And you go, "Fuck it.
Yeah,
Give me the ruby."
I can go without shoes. I can buy
With
a lot of
ruby
shoes.
that size, I can buy 15 pairs of shoes.
Then you try to actually do
All
something.
gold.
Yeah.
All made of thick gold.
Then you try to do something with the ruby, and nobody will buy it because it's too
It's
hot.
fucking. Yeah, it's too hot. It's counterfeit.
They go,
it's
"Oh, wow.
branded."
That's the queen's ruby. Uh-oh.
And you're like, "The what?"
Yeah, it's the crown jewels. You can't. What did you do?
And now you have to explain how you got it. "Oh, this guy gave it to me for a pair of shoes." A likely story.
You gotta run out of town. Now you actually do have to haggle because you have to figure out who you can sell this to.
Yeah, you gotta find a fence at that
You gotta
point.
find a fence. You gotta get into the underground. There's a whole underground network thieves guild scenario going on
Yeah.
in the background.
Anyways, to the meat of this, if you're
Mhm.
doing a thing in your game
Yes.
and your players keep doing it, but have expressed they don't like to do it, then you ask them why they're doing it. Like, if you don't like haggling, then why do you always insist on haggling? Well, I want to get good prices. If they're complaining that things are too expensive, make it so when they do things, they get more gold. Give them more money.
Right.
Again, 5e does not have a lot of things that you can really sink money into,
Mm-hmm.
aside from gear. And even then, it's not magic gear, oftentimes. It's
Right.
very magic item blight. If your players are complaining, things are expensive, you go, "Here's tons more money. Like, here's an extra however much gold per quest you do, or you just start finding more gold on bodies." You know?
Mhm.
I understand this would disrupt an actual economy in-game if you were to pay attention to that, but the players seem to be having a struggle where they need money that's too expensive. They're gonna pinch their coins, so if it's not fun, just increase the money flow. Let them have more money. Let them buy more things. Let them not have to haggle and feel so tight, pinched pockets. You know?
Right. Maybe one of the reasons why, seriously, one of the reasons why they're not enjoying it is because there's very little active engagement with it. It's very passive as an experience, and so make it more exciting or enticing, or try to get them off of it entirely because it's not working.
If it's not working, get them off entirely is my thing.
Yeah, try to hand wave it away. If we're arguing over 2 copper pieces, I think that we've gone way off rail. we've derailed the whole situation. It's the same reason why, like, when we were doing that campaign, you hand waved away a lot of stuff. One with like trying to do the individuality of the buying things, but also just even travel or you know, lots of the boring stuff. You just kind of like go, okay, how long is it going to take? Do we do anything in the meantime? We don't have to dig into this too much. You know, it breaks up flow.
Overland travel is not generally very interesting unless events are happening, but it's like, for that, it's like, okay, well, this far into a couple hours into your travel, this happens. What do you want to do? It's like Oregon Trail. It's like, it's not exciting until you make it exciting. Again, this is totally off the entire topic, but like the reason movies set in space skip the actual thing of space travel is because space travel is boring. Traveling itself is boring unless the mechanics of the game were to be like, yeah, this is actually traveling.
Mm-hmm.
But a tabletop game wouldn't, like RPG, you wouldn't really do that. You see that in video games because it can be just done way better. As per Star Trekker, it still can be done poorly.
Right.
That mixes the boringness of space travel with the boringness of survival.
Yep. There are not a ton of video games that I've seen that do, like, haggling or trading all that interestingly. I think the one game that I just thought was very interesting, have you ever heard of, what was it? Space Organ Trader Simulator? Okay. I
vaguely remember
that.
this.
I played that, and that's an interesting one. Because it's just so weird.
I think Moonlighter did an interesting take on...
They did.
It wasn't haggling as much as setting prices, but...
Then you figure out if the customers do or do not like it and work from there. But yeah.
It's a little different, but yeah.
Yeah. If the end game was better, that would have been nice. Anywho, what are your thoughts on haggling? Do you want to engage with it at all? Why would players want to? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. Especially if they don't like it.
If you're role-playing it, it can be fine.
But if you don't like it, why are they insistent on doing it?
Yeah. Cut out the boring bits.
Let us know in the comment down below. If you're the person who originally posted, I don't know who the original person was that posted that on Reddit. Somebody else posted it on like X of a Reddit post that they saw. I don't know who originally did it. Did it resolve? I don't know.
Yeah. Did your players stop being bored with it?
Did the game end? Let us know in the comments down below.
Did rocks fall and everyone died?
I mean, that's what happens here.